should be over. It should be back to business.
But not for Andre.
Well, he takes such a big windup on that high forehand volley. It's really one that not many players have ever used. It's a dangerous shot, but he gets in there. He has a lot of confidence in it. Boom. Agassi runs around to hit the big forehand, but he leaves such an opening, a big gap in the one side of the court. The Courier still has to get there and hit a great shot.
How many times they must have practiced against each other down in Florida through the years as they grew up, with their eyes and their hearts set on a day like this.
And I don't know if they always got along as well as everybody'd like to think, which makes this match just that much more important to both of them.
Well, Courier told us that. He said, you get a couple of cocky guys like we are rooming together. He said, we didn't always get along.
Well, this right here is what's going to win the match for either player. Agassi takes the ball, rifles it down the line to Courier's backhand, and covers the net very well, catching the ball well above it.
On the line for the first ace of the match.
Well, the extraordinary item to me in Agassi's victory over Boris Becker was that he came to the net more times and won more points at the net than Boris Becker.
So Agassi.
Back-to-back aces for Agassi. They're on serve at 2-1 in the opener. Many former champions are here to enjoy today's final, including American Frank Parker, 48-49 champion.
Doesn't he look wonderful? He's well into his 70s. And he played one of the 4 All-American finals here. At 49, he beat Budge Patty. This is the 4th.
First trip to the net for Courier. Love 15. Let's go back to Agassi, Courier, the 4th. Tony Trabert and Art Larson. We showed you the film of that. Frank Parker, Budge Patty in 49, and Donald McNeil and Bobby Riggs.
Oh, we hope they're watching.
Yes.
Newlywed Bobby Riggs.
The first point of this game, Courier ran around to hit a forehand and attack the net. He missed the volley. I hope that doesn't discourage him in a way that he stays back and loses a little bit of confidence. I still hope that he gets in there and continues to be aggressive.
You're not suggesting you're rooting for Courier today.
Well, they're both JSC.
That's right.
James Scott Connors and James Spencer Courier.
You got me out of that one, bud.
Son trying to break through after some dismal
Now let's
weather
watch
the
these
last couple
feet,
days.
Jimmy. Does he touch with his left foot? No. He leaps but does not touch.
We were lucky to get tennis in on Friday, And there was a threat of rain yesterday. The long-range forecast was rain today, but the French weather people have been kind to us. And this Sunday final, perfect weather, little breeze, that may affect some play. Other than that, delightful. And the first ace for Jim Courier to punctuate the game, and it's 2-all.
18,000 people here today. That's a full house, a wonderful ballpark. Philippe Chatrier began to turn this championship around. It was a little seedy when I first showed up. Then Christian Duxin, and now Patrice Clair does a wonderful job of running it. There's no tournament better in the world.
Well, here's the Jose Higueras influence. A little change of pace, a little looper back from Courier, but it falls short. Gives Agassi a chance to really pounce on his forehand.
Did you like playing against Jose Higueras, Jimmy? Oh, I am naughty. Excuse me.
Absolutely not.
Courier thought that ball was wide, and here comes Bruno Reboul. He says it's out.
Bruno loves to hop down from that chair. Great chair hopper.
Great stuff by both players here. Agassi caught in no man's land, flicks it a forehand, but gets a short reply, and boom. Threw in a shot there called the sky hook. He got up for that lob.
Ever see one of those?
I was like,
I'm proud of naming it. That was you, Connors, the sky hook.
We'll see some of those this evening in Los Angeles. Game 4 of the NBA. Here on NBC. Hope you've made your plans for now.
Minneapolis if they lose.
2-all, 30-love, opening set.
That's the way to treat that second serve, anyway.
Agassi holds it love. We're live from Paris. We'll return after these words from your local station. He's been in 3 finals in his career, and he's 3 for 3. This is his 4th. Let's go back to the last game and Agassi's winning forehand.
well, Courier hits a great return. He really handcuffs Agassi here. He's going through the strength program to make him stronger. That helps him, but the oversized racket is made that possible also. It gives him a lot more pace and a lot more power.
That's Gil Reyes, his strength and conditioning coach. He serves that role at UNLV as well. So the first opening for either player, love 30, Agassi with a chance. Agassi with 6 straight points, and now he gets a second ball.
Let's see if he takes a chance and really lets one rip here.
7 in a row for Agassi, and 3 breakers come with it. He takes the lead, 4-2. Joanne Russell's been chatting with Coach Jose Aguirres.
Dick, well, I just talked to Jose, and he said he wanted Jim to keep the ball deep, be steady, take his time, and change the pace. He said Agassi was serving very well, and they both talked about, they said he just has to hang in there when Agassi gets hot.
And Andre Agassi is just that. He's won 8 of the last 9 points and now has the lead.
Well, that was a bad game for Courier.
Well, he made a couple errors that I don't think he should have, but, you know, he should get in there and start taking a few chances. He's been playing well. He should have the confidence.
Agassi thus far has been the aggressor. Well, Courier, true to his promise yesterday, he told us he's going to mix in some slices and some little lobs just to take some pace off it, and that was a good point. Did just that.
Well, he said that if he gets into a slugging match with Agassi, that he does it a little bit better, which I don't know if he really does or not. Courier's been in some good slugfests this week and has come out the winner.
Opportunity to break back for Courier. Second ball, love 30. Ooh, what a serve. Threw the hook at him and caught the sidelines.
Dick, you notice Agassi's not playing way over near the sideline to serve to Courier.
That's right, in that ad court, he likes to go more toward the sideline and throw that kicker and get an angle on him. Not today. There's the kicker.
Boy.
Well, I'm not going to say anything anymore. Every time I come up with a prediction here, it goes sour. But Agassi is doing, I think, just what he wants to. He's playing close to the line. He's not leaving that big opening for Courier to rip that backhand down the line, and he's still getting some good hop on the serve.
30 all. Boy, there's 3 big serves. The hook, then the kicker, and now just a good flat smash.
Well, Agassi has made that known that he has worked on his serve, has improved it. He's got speed. He mixes it up. He throws a slice, a kicker, throws the flat one in to keep you off balance.
Here in the 7th game of the match, that's our first deuce.
So Courier was over there doing a little limbering up exercises. It's a little bit chilly today and a bit of a breeze, but I think he might be doing that more to loosen up, to get his nervousness out of his system. Agassi again with the first serve, which is also important. Gets the short reply, and once again, his forehand has been devastating.
5 winners to 2 for Andre. A point from 5-2.
Wait.
What a tough serve. His second serve right on the line. Andre Agassi has the early lead.
Last year, Andre came out like a schnook, and he said the big key for him, if Jim Courier's serve falters, then he has a great chance to win it.
Agassi's serve, he's shown that, and he's been tough on Courier.
So a big return by Agassi, lands just inside the baseline. Yeah, Courier not sure about the call, so it's a little slow getting to the next shot. But Agassi's come out. He's got a good pace to his walk. He's moving around the court confident. Courier, on the other hand, is not moving like he did throughout the previous 6 matches. A little bit sluggish, maybe.
Just missing on that serve, as he has so often in this first set. Close, but fault.
Agassi dictating play. He's on the move. He's the one that's being the aggressor this first 7 games.
And now has 2 set points. Service winner, and it's back to deuce. So 2 shots at an early first set win for Agassi, knocked away by Courier. Cap starting to look, Bud, like one that Gaylord Perry would use. Got everything on it.
Well, that's a fashion statement I want to talk about in a little while. Dirt is okay.
Agassi had the whole court, but missed on the backhand.
Agassi has a great chance here. He should have stepped in and taken that ball out of the air with his high forehand volley that he's been using so successfully, but he gave Courier a chance to get back in this point. Both players, Dick, have a baseball grip backhand. Agassi with his 2 hands, he has his racket slanted almost like he's up there in a stance for baseball, but Courier, his grip is referred to by him yesterday from his young baseball days.
Yeah, he said as a left-handed hitter, he does throws right-handed. He said I kick and I bat and golf left-handed. That does have a transfer.
Whoa!
pitcher and a shortstop in his youth, a little leaguer and junior high player, and then tennis became his game.
Avantage, Croyer.
After beating Edberg in this quarterfinals, he got a call from Dusty Hill.
Your favorite group.
Oh, the ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And congratulated him. He's a drummer himself, is Courier, and so, although that's not his favorite group, what is it, REM?
REM, yep. Michael Stipe. He loves him. But Agassi's been pounded on the drummer.
Service winner for Courier as he battled through a game that saw 2 set points against. He holds, and now it's Agassi serving for the set 5-3. We're at Roland Garros in Paris, France, live, the finals of the 1991 French Open Championships. 2 Americans for the first time in the finals, 37-year span. And one will win today his first Grand Slam title. Andre Agassi, 5-3 in the opening set.
Agassi's the one that's playing inside the baseline. I feel that's very important. Courier's allowing him to take the aggressiveness here and to get to the net. He doesn't have to go to the net with approach shots like that. Courier seems to be satisfied to play well back at the baseline and slug it out, where Agassi is trying to get in there.
Strokes that he's offered, and then he misses on the shot down the line.
Well, he really takes Courier well out of court here. Courier doesn't do much with this shot, and look at the whole court open. Can't make them all.
That's right, they'd be sending you to a higher league.
I don't think there's a much higher league than this one right here.
Courier hasn't really been able to put much of a dent in Agassi's serve. Remember, he did not break him once in the 4 sets last year in Paris when Agassi won in the round of 16. To go on the other side of the net.
If you're clear, do what you got to do. I'm just saying. I say you got to let him check the price. I know you're a good linesman. I don't know him particularly. Just let him check the mark. That's all I'm asking. Just check the mark.
Review not allowing Courier's request to have the linesman check the mark.
But why one time and not another then? That's what I want to know.
Totally opposed to Review's decision on the Stefan Edberg lob.
Gilbert, I want the referee right now. You got to go check the mark.
He wants to see the referee. He thinks that the referee is going to come out and overrule the decision and allow the linesman to go check the mark.
Can't do that.
I Oh, the rules have changed.
But he's doing it in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
This normally very quiet, reserved, taciturn, if you will, Jim Courier. Here's the point in question. So much dirt on that line, tough to call.
Hey, Jimmy, when you played, I know they'd check it for you, baby. I know it.
I'd have dragged him out of there to check it.
He hasn't been in many finals, but he knows where the microphones are, doesn't he?
Nice way, Mud, you were scouting him out this morning.
He got the umpire down from the chair against Stefan Edberg. That was Merlet. This is a different umpire.
Third set point.
We're going to check Agassi's feet, too, a little closely, because he looks as though he could be touching the line, but that's the far line from us.
First set, Andre Agassi, 6-3. It took 39 minutes. Roland Garros, named after a French World War I air hero, was not a tennis player. And this facility constructed basically a tribute to the Davis Cuppers, the Four Musketeers, the great four Frenchmen, as they endeavored and did beat the United States and Bill Tilden, ganged up on Big Bill.
1927, the French, after several tries, won in Philadelphia. So in those days, the winning team got to defend the cup in the final. They had no place to play in Paris. They were playing tennis in a very small enclosure, seated about 2,000 people. So they built Stade Roland Garros in 1928 for the defense. The French defended 5 times successfully.
As you saw those first set statistics, the winners, the key, +8 for Agassi.
And Bill Tilden, was the first American to be in a final in this ballpark, 1930.
And Courier starting off this second set with new balls.
And a service winner. Another story of the first set. Andre Agassi, no break points against the entire set. He broke Courier in the 6th game to take the set 6-3.
Well, Agassi again seeing his opportunity. Smacks a forehand cross court. Look at this touch here. Gets down low to the ball, lets the ball just barely slide off his racket for a beautiful drop volley. But Agassi inside the court, Courier content to play 4 or 5 feet behind.
Only 4 approaches for Courier, 8 less than Agassi. Suddenly that beautiful sunshine here on this Sunday has left us. Heavy clouds. Oh! 15-30. And as we told you, there was a forecast for rain all of the weekend, all of the play continuing throughout the tournament. We've had very few rain delays. Temperature has dropped. The winds out of the north. Not a good sign, and showers are forecast. It's approaching 4 o'clock. We're live from Paris. Courier already down a set. Now has 2 break points against him in this opening game of the second set.
But in talking to Jim Courier, he mentioned that he strings his rackets at 31 kilos. Now, for clay, I would think that's awfully tight. You have to put a lot more effort into your shots. 31 kilos got to be 68 pounds. Thank you.
Boom! What did you string yours at for this tournament?
I use a different racket than he does, but I was stringing mine down around 21 kilos, which is, you know, under 50 pounds. But he's bigger and stronger and younger than I am for sure, but that seems awfully tight for these heavy conditions.
It's wide, and Andre Agassi has broken Courier to take the lead in the second set. So far, all Agassi. When he was competing and Courier in the junior 18s in Pensacola, it was a cold day, and he came out in jeans, makeup, and an earring. Courier was telling us that, and just in spite, won it anyway.
He's wearing an earring that he frequently wears. He says it represents the Trinity.
Have been the beginning of the Andre Agassi image. Bollettieri didn't know what to do with it. He did everything but put on galoshes and still won the 18s.
Nick gave him a fierce lecture afterwards, but then Nick said, I learned to ride with a kid. He's an unusual young man, and I started to understand him. He's an individual.
Well, after winning the first set, Agassi has won all the points but 2 here in the second set.
Do you think Courier's trying to overhit his forehand now, Jimmy, to
I think
compensate?
he's trying to do too much is exactly right. Instead of being content to get 2 balls in play, work the ball around, wait for his chance, he's trying to go out and just slug it out from the very first ball.
That is one of the squat return. You've got to put that into your repertory. The spot overhead return. You'll never see it again.
Courier caught right in the middle. He's trying to run around and smack a forehand, but he just didn't quite get around there quick enough.
Yes, that
I like
coach
that.
will tell. Yes, that'd be good for our game, Stick. And then you could fall over.
Agassi a point from a 2-love lead in the second.
There's no doubt about that linesman's call.
No, Paul Fatignon is very loud.
Joanne Russell.
Well, Dick, I was talking to Jose Higueras, and he said first thing he would tell Jim Courier to move his feet. He said he's very tentative. He said, I definitely say, get a little happier in your feet. And he said he'd ask him to stand back a little bit further on Agassi's serve, and he also wouldn't mind a rain delay right now.
Wouldn't mind. He'll be doing a rain dance in 5 seconds.
He should do a lot more of this. Pancho Segura was the master of this, the sneak in behind a good deep shot. Right here, you see Andre Agassi commits already to come over the ball. Courier sneaks in and catches the volley.
Very important stage for Agassi. If he could reestablish, for Courier, to reestablish himself.
As you saw, only his 5th trip to the net.
Avantage, Agassi.
It's a big guy, 6'1", 173 pounds. Even with the slower clay, the shots of Agassi too good. That left-handed hitter going the opposite way.
Hit behind the runner.
He gets his whole body behind this backhand, and forget the shot itself, but he was leaning forward as he struck the ball and continued to go forward, which to me is the right thing to do.
And there is the first break point for Courier in the match.
Something that's impressed me about Agassi is his second serve here. He has really gone for him and made him, which has kept Courier back a little bit from being as aggressive, I think, as he would like. That's going back to Joanne's report on Jose to move back a little bit on his serve.
He gets a second ball here. Chance to break back, steal some of Agassi's momentum. What a shot.
Courier's got a good return, but Agassi plays a very delicate shot for being down break point. Courier at full stretch doesn't quite get there.
You're seeing Andre Agassi at his best.
Agassi loves that big forehand, especially when it's in the middle of the court. And look how close he is to the net. For someone who doesn't, quote, like to volley that much, sure gets in there awfully well.
Sound you hear occasionally is the wind through the various microphones. It's not thunder. One of the few mishits from Agassi. Longest game of the match. They're at their fourth deuce. Agassi, 6-3. One break of service in the opening set, then breaks Courier to start the second. One love deuce here in the second set.
Agassi showing that he doesn't have to just hit every ball as hard as he can. Some good delicate touch. The key to that shot there is that he was way inside the service line, almost camping on the net.
Not too love yet, but he's a point away from it. There it is. Well, it was prophetic. Andre Agassi, 2-love in the second. Well, an opportunity for Courier, one break chance in that last game, but Agassi playing high-level tennis today. Stade Roland Garros, Paris, France. We did hear one report that there is some rain about an hour away.
Well, if Courier's waiting for that rain, he's going to have to figure out a way to stay in this match that long. Well, both players love the big forehand. He was trying to sneak in there, but no, he lets it bounce, and both players love that inside-out forehand. Good power behind it. If I was coaching Courier, I would tell him that he takes that ball that lands a little anywhere near the service line, hit it as strong as he is and as hard as he can, and go in behind it. If I was coaching Agassi, I'd say nothing.
You're doing just as I said yesterday.
Well, you can't change a winning game like this, and he's on a roll. He's picking his shots well. He's moving well.
All-American spirit. This final featuring 2 Yanks. Well, I bet things are a little ledgy this morning at George and Gladys Barbecue.
Yeah.
Dade City.
The Centennial Lounge, JR's Showcase. They've all got the TV set on. Talked to the chief of police. He said, not much crime here in Dade City. He said we have a few DWIs for traffic violations. Once in a while, we get lucky and catch a burglar.
40-15.
Jim called his mom and dad after his success in this championship, hoping that they could fly over and be here today. Both are on holiday, and passports are at home, just couldn't make all the connections. So they're watching as well. Mother in North Carolina, father in Florida.
Well, Courier runs around there. He hesitates at the last minute, but isn't it great how Agassi gets over there and is able to go from a defensive position into an offensive position there. Rifles a backhand up the line.
Apologize for the net cord. Certainly different than the way I play. I apologize for all the bad shots. I take those. I don't apologize for those. I want all those I can get. I apologize for all the bad ones I hit. Rackets up all the time. Courier holds, but it's Agassi in the lead. 6-3, 2-1. Coach Bollettieri is Phil Agassi, Andre's brother. Father and mother are watching in Las Vegas. Dad Mike, a former boxer on the Iranian Olympic team in 48 and 52, and the one who encouraged both these men to play tennis, and Mother Elizabeth, who used to make those 500-mile round trips, driving Andre to Southern California tournaments. All the mothers of tennis players around the world. There ought to be a special statue for them. All the time taken to let their young kids, boys and girls, play this game at the tournament level.
His sister Rita was a very good player, too.
Oh, that's unfair. That's is there a law against those?
I remember Andre's father there used to be a tournament in Las Vegas, and he'd do anything to, to come around the tennis, to bring Andre around, hit with some of the guys.
Andre said he hit with you when he was 4 years old.
A long time ago.
Agassi continues to dominate on serve, and we'll see who dominates tonight at the Forum in Los Angeles. The Bulls leading the Lakers.
Agassi has jumped out 2 leads in almost every game he's served so far, so it allows himself a luxury when he gets ahead to go for his shots a little more, if that's possible. That's his game. Go for your shots.
20 pounds heavier than he was when he played in the finals last year. Rigorous weight program, really unique in tennis. I mean, heavy weight work. Agassi holds, and he leads 3-1 in the second, up a set. Did you ever? He's now bench pressing 250 pounds.
I always thought that everybody has their own technique and their own training period, but I always thought it was better to stay away from the weights. It contracted your muscles, made them not as long and loose and supple as they should be. I was trained more like a boxer. My grandfather was a boxer, so he trained me that way, away from the weights. But you can't argue with success here. It sure helped Agassi.
Gil Reyes, who has been his tutor in that weight room. He claims he's stronger and has more endurance, and there's nothing that would argue against that in this championship. They're going to check the mark.
Here comes Paul Fettigon now.
Calls it out. Calls it out.
Now Bruno loves his exercise. Here comes umpire Bruno Rabu. And he rules it'll be 11.
Well, that shows that 2 people just don't see eye to eye.
Look at the same mark, and one calls it out, one calls it on the line.
The absurd thing about tennis is if this guy sitting here, Rabu, can see every line, why don't you let him call every line? What do you need these other people out here for? Sell those seats. You could get $100 a piece for them.
I could do better, Bud, based on the demand here today.
The Pasco Pirate. That's what the trainer, Bill Norris, calls him. They're both Floridians, and Bill said Jim likes that name because he's from Pasco County, and the high school team there is called the Pasco Pirates, and he's trying to steal one here.
But you know what they say out there in Las Vegas? Andre Agassi, we got a winner, 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 winner. Dad, who is Mike, who is the showroom captain out at one of the major hotels there, he's heard that cry.
The reigning rebel from Las Vegas. That hat, couple things happened. He was playing Magnus Larsson a week ago Saturday, losing 2 sets to 1, losing 2 games to 1. He went to serve, and he said, I might as well go for a hat, even though it was cloudy. Maybe he thought he was going to pull a rabbit from the hat. He did. That's the hat that everybody has issued who entered, a plain white cotton cap. Now, in that game, he went down love 40, and I'll continue that story in a moment.
Sounded like a commercial break there, Bud.
And no commercials on the caps for the major tournaments.
Unlike golfers, they can't put a logo up there. What, they can wear the ATP logo? Is that?
They can at every tournament except a Grand Slam event. And then it has to be blank.
At love 40 in that game, a baby began to cry. The woman quickly took her child out of the stands, and Courier looked at Larsson and said, that baby doesn't like your drop shot either, that Larsson was using very well. They both broke up. Courier relaxed and won the match.
On the line, ace for Courier, his second.
So he said, there's magic dust on that cap. I guess it comes in Tuscan red. and he's never going to take it off in a tennis match. Perhaps today will change him on that, but...
Checking the clouds, and they continue to be gray and a bit heavier. Serve and volley for Courier, and a beautiful top spin lob Agassi.
Well, right here, Courier does something that's totally unexpected. Serve and volley. He gets a high return, but he doesn't quite get in close enough to do enough with the volley. Agassi way too quick. Gets over there in plenty of time with a top spin lob. Taking a little extra peek himself.
1-3 deuce. The second set, Agassi with one break, won the first set 6-3.
Second set.
Too much for that.
Avantage, Agassi.
But rate for me, if you will, Courier's play today as you think it compares to the way he played to get to this final.
Well, it's not as good, but of course you're always play only as well as you're permitted. And Agassi is playing tremendously.
That's right. In the other matches, Courier was the one doing the dictating. This one, so far, not yet.
Break point for 4-1.
I think he should do a lot more of this. He has the opportunity here. It's a good firm forehand up the line, and it's the easy overhead. But it's funny that you see players coming into the net and being aggressive when they're behind. Nothing wrong with doing that when you're ahead either.
Michael Chang was aggressive right away 2 years ago against Ed Berg and startled him, and then settled into his baseline routine, but he'd stolen the first set that way.
And here comes the first sprinkles of rain.
Jim, I don't think minds. I know Jose Garris is coach.
And Bruno Ribeux has halted play as this magnificent crowd goes to the colorful parapluie.
This is going to be interesting now. They're both walking off. They have a big locker room up there. This is the final, so really nobody else is in there. Courier will go to the locker room. Agassi won't. He has a room down underneath the locker room that he's hung out in throughout the course of these championships.
You said Agassi did not hit out here, actually arrived at Roland Garros just 40 minutes before the match.
I was standing right outside the locker room at 20 minutes past 2, 40 minutes before the match started, and Agassi was just walking in. Now, I don't know if he went out to practice or not. I can't answer that, but getting here to a final of a major event like this 40 minutes before the match is to go on is
unusual.
A little bit unusual is right.
So we have a break here in the second set. Andre Agassi won the first set 6-3 and leads 3-1 in the second at deuce, and we'll return in a moment. Welcome back to Paris. As you can see, they have not placed the tarp on center court. A very light shower. In fact, it has stopped already, or it's a very light sprinkle. They've not called the players out as yet, but it does not appear as if we're going to have a serious rain. And while they consider all possibilities, I think it'd be more than back, and the players are about 2 minutes away from continuing play, and maybe sooner the way they're acting here. Maybe they felt they didn't need the entire 5 minutes because they're marching toward the baseline very seriously. There are the numbers to this point. Unforced errors even, aces even, but the winners marked at second column 24 for Agassi, 11 for Courier. We resume play. Courier serving. Deuce, a rain break of about 23 minutes. We continue live. It's about 20 minutes before the hour of 5 Paris time.
Tough spot to start up on. At a deuce and to have to serve, Jimmy.
Well, Agassi had a game point in this game already to go up 4-1, 2 breaks. Courier fought that off. It is a tough spot to come out and start in, but I'm sure he'd rather be in this position than down 4-1.
Coach Jose Aguirre has had a chance now to visit with Courier, perhaps any strategy changes, but you heard Bollettieri. He's already anticipating that the Courier will be more aggressive, more forceful. So Agassi will be ready for that.
When Agassi comes in like that, he's moving forward. Courier, in turn, steps back. Instead of stepping up and taking his passing shot a little bit earlier, he moves back, which gives Agassi that extra second to step in there and throw that little dink over the net.
Point away from 4-1, Andre Agassi. This then, as it continues through the rain delay, the longest game of the match. No, not quite. This is the third deuce. And we understand although there are blue skies to the west, there is more rain coming. So these players going to have a dicey day. On the center line for his third ace.
Both players have come back from the rain delay just slugging away, just like they left. Rain delays are difficult. You get off, you want to take a shower, you want to change your shirt, you don't know exactly how much time you have. Stiffen up just a little bit. But not these two. Well, Agassi clips one right off the baseline. He gets the short reply. Courier has to step one way or the other there to make a choice, and Agassi hits behind him into the open court.
Right-handers, forehands, and Agassi the better punch today. Well, there's one in the column for Jim Courier.
Avantage, Courier.
Well, both players hit the ball hard. It looks like Jim Courier hits the ball much harder because he's throwing more of his body into it. Agassi more relaxed forehand.
Courier off the forehand side, and he holds. Still down a break in the second, down a set. Up a break serving in the second set, 3-2. One break of service in the first set as Agassi won at 6-3.
Courier here more alert. He gets off the mark in a hurry. He gets there. Agassi not quite as alert as I think he should have gotten to this ball. It was good disguise from Courier, but the rain delay seems to have affected Agassi a little bit more than Courier.
Well, that last game is a confidence builder for Jim Courier. 2 break points. He could have dropped right out of it. Been down 4-1, and he ended up with 2 severe forehands to win the game.
And here's a little hope for Courier at love 30. He's had only 1 break point against Agassi serve all day. 6-3 in one game.
And a couple of errors from Andre.
0-40.
7 of 9 points since the rain, won by Courier. And he breaks at love. The second set is even at 3-all. Dick Enberg with Bud Callens, Jimmy Connors, Joanne Russell at center court, Roland Garros. Jim Courier breaking Andre Agassi in that last game to wipe out the breakup that Agassi enjoyed. Agassi with a set, 6-3. And Agassi, who played so flawlessly before the rain, making some unforced errors to help Courier. Light rain falling now.
This is a big game for Jim Courier here. He just breaks back, gets even 3-all. He's got to really concentrate and dig down not to lose his serve again. For Andre Agassi, a lot of errors now creeping into his game. He has to regain that form that he had when he won the first set 6-3.
What a wonderful contrast. Those wicked forehands and then the point one on a little drop.
Well, it's power at its best, but Courier sees the drop shot coming. Agassi chooses to change the pace, but once again, drop shots do not win points. Agassi not alert enough.
So in your book, it's inexcusable for you to be beaten by a drop shot.
Well, unless it's absolutely perfect, but Agassi should have been moving up, expecting something back. But Agassi looks impatient now to me. He thinks he's going to come out now after the rain delay and just blast Courier off the court, and it's not happening.
He had that chance for 4 games to 1. 2 break points to get there. Didn't. He knew he made a mistake there. That was a bad shot by Courier.
He has asked the ball boy to run his racket up to Jose Higueras. Either he broke a string or he wants his strings tightened. And they'll now quickly take that back to the shop.
It's going right back.
He should have that racket back within 30 minutes. It's about the length of time it would take him.
He doesn't want to bungle these game points. He'd love to go ahead 4-3.
40-30 at 3-all. Umbrella's out.
Courier rushing there a little?
Well, I think he sees the raindrops coming. He wants to get this game in. He wants to go in there with a 4-3 lead, if they call it now.
They might not. He's got to settle himself.
a chance for Agassi to regain the lead.
Yeah, but two awful mistakes by Courier. One backhand, and watch this backhand just go, geez, a good 10 or 15 feet long since he went to that change of rackets.
Shot. Yeah, and he seemed to hurry himself.
Agassi makes a great return off a first serve, but Courier comes in with a not that great of approach shot, but Agassi trying a tough topspin lob. Doesn't quite get it up there high enough.
There's a play you had to appreciate, Connors.
Well, this is great court coverage by both players, but Courier well inside the service line. But look at this at full stretch. Put his racket out there, held a good tight grip, and made the volley.
And he has not distinguished himself with volleying throughout this tournament, but what a needed one that was.
Now the rain's starting to fall again.
Oh, my. Agassi's brilliant return, quickly erasing that game point to go 4-3 for Courier.
And he'll have to come back serving at deuce again.
Here, umpire review has asked that play be halted. You can see from Courier's reaction as he flips the two balls in the air, that's not exactly what he had in mind. Well, there are a lot to discuss, and sometimes like baseball, and since we're live, and that's always a delight as well, we have an opportunity to go into a little hot stove league session with Messrs. Collins and Connors. I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you, and maybe I can represent the fans' point of view. We'll cook it up. Get to put a couple of logs in the fire here. Let's go at it. 6-3, 3-all in the second. The French championships halted. It's not a heavy rain. Don't wander away. We'll return in a moment. He was 3 years younger than Courier. He was 15, she was 12, and he said, "Oh, don't make me rally with her. You get somebody else to do that job. She's hitting too hard already."
Dick, you know what's incredible is the Americans have been chastised, I think, for about the last 10 years, that, you know, what happened to American tennis? Well, really, you can see that nothing really happened to American tennis. You just had two guys there that were playing some pretty good tennis at one time collectively, myself and McEnroe, and people kind of jumped on us, you know, and put us out in the forefront, you know, justifiably or maybe not, and then they forgot about a lot of the other players, which, you know, to the players like Courier and Wheaton and Gilbert and a lot of Krickstein, a lot of guys, not fair.
Well, here are two of them that have advanced for the first time to Americans in the French final. First time in 37 years. They have a 3-minute warm-up. We'll return with more action in the finals. Andre Agassi in a 1-set lead. 3 in the first. They're at 3-all in deuce. Courier serving in the second. About 2 minutes away from play. Let's go to our old buddy, the pro from Sea Pines Plantation on Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, and doing such a great job at the USTA and the youth tennis program. Stan Smith with Joanne Russell.
Stan, is Jim Courier a part of the USTA coaching?
He surely is. He's part of our program. He's really at the top of the pyramid. He and David Wheaton and Jennifer Capriati. But, you know, our program goes way, way deep. We start with the 12-year-olds, the 16s, and the 18-year-olds. We had about 9 players playing in the junior championships over here at the French.
Well, the players we hear about are the Changs, Capriatis, Courier. Well, what happens to the player that's just starting out and needs the encouragement and the financial help?
Well, our philosophy is to help those players as they turn pro for about 2 years. And so we have in our program now Mal Washington, Todd Martin, who did very well here, Steve Bryan, Tommy Ho, Stacy Martin, Tammy Whitlinger. Players like that are just making this transition. We helped them for a couple of years. We did that with Chang, and we're doing that now with Courier. We're doing that with David Wheaton. and also Mary Jo Fernandez is part of the program. So these are the players you hear about, but you know, the meat of the program really is with the really young players.
All right, thank you very much, Stan. Back to you, Dick.
All right, and our thanks to Stan Smith, a former colleague.
There is some objection to all that, however, Dick. A lot of people are saying, why are they helping millionaires? Those people are already established.
Yeah, you can also afford to pay their own coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, their answer is, I guess, they are helping those that cannot afford, but also, I guess, in some fairness doctrine, how much money you have isn't a factor in whether or not you receive help from the USTA. Courier, indeed, has already earned $207,000 for making it to the final, and if he wins it, wins $415,000 today.
Because the essence of the U.S. Tennis Association is supposed to be the promotion of amateur and recreational tennis. That's in the Constitution. So a lot of people within the USTA, because it's made up of volunteers, just wonder why they should be spending so much money helping professionals.
We resume play, 3-all and deuce in the second set. Courier breaking Agassi in the last game to pull even.
So Jim's on the spot again. He came back from the first rain delay at deuce. Got through a break point. And he had 40-15 in this game.
16-minute rain delay. The first was 23 minutes. Wide. And a breaker for Agassi. Agassi did not play as well after the first rain delay.
Well, Courier came out smoking, made a lot of good shots, a few errors by Agassi, but I think one thing he's going to be thinking about coming out of this last rain delay is to keep the ball in play a little bit longer.
Come on.
A big game for both players. Courier fought back from a breakdown. He wants to win this game to go ahead in the second set.
Boy, a gimme. That really makes Courier feel better.
Well, with the two rain delays, with Agassi up 3-1 in this second set, it's been almost an hour since he's won a game.
Now 5:15 Paris time. They started a little after 3. And an ace for Courier, his fourth. He holds the run serve 4-3 in the second. Lines here at Roland Garros, the winner of the John Denver lookalike contest, Bill Norris, the ATP trainer. He's been busy.
Oh, he's been important throughout these championships. This tournament has been one of many injuries. A number of seeded players, such as Sergei Bruguera from Spain, had to retire from a bad back. So he's been quite busy. Marcello Filippini.
Jimmy
retired.
Connors.
Jimmy Connors. That last one, I didn't like that one too much.
He paid you a few visits on court.
Agassi changed his mind. He wanted to run around and hit that cross-court forehand. He saw Courier hanging over there, and he tried to go down the line.
Well, both of them stepping toe-to-toe. Here's a change of pace by Courier, a slice. Now he's got it. He wants to go back there, but Courier knows his game so well. He stayed in the corner. It's awfully tough to change your mind in the middle of a stroke and still be successful with it.
They've been playing each other since they were 11.
He's been pouncing on that short ball all day.
Well, the last 2 points have been much better from Andre Agassi. Taking a little bit off his shots from the baseline, but still sees the sharp ball and pounces.
15 all. A 7 in the forehand battle. The top weapon for both men. Wide. 15-30.
I've got to go back to what Mr. Lacoste, Rene Lacoste, one of the Four Musketeers, tried to get me to do throughout the course of my time here. And when things aren't going well, don't go so much for the lines. Maybe hit a few more balls down the middle. Agassi making a few mistakes, trying to make the ball too good.
Two break points for Jim Courier. Should he convert one of them, he'd be able to serve for the second set.
Well, Agassi was sitting comfortably at one time. Not many unforced errors, but a lot creeping into his game in the last 4 or 5 games.
Definitely not been the same player since that first rain interruption. There's the jammer. One break point lost. Neither does Courier.
We're going to have a look here.
Here comes Henri Bastide.
Can't find it.
And here, of course, will come Bruno Rebu, the chair hopper.
Called good. It was hit so hard, tough to read. Courier says, I won't fight about it. I'll just rub it out. Oh, a big shot. And
boy, I'll say.
By inches, that could have been Courier's game and serving 5-3.
I think Agassi might have gone for too much there.
Well, he got it.
He got it, but still awfully close.
Great service return just to get the ball back, and Agassi wheelhouses another forehand.
Now he's responding to the fire.
Now a point from 4 all. Agassi's game, it is 4 all. 2 chances for Courier to take the game and the lead. And the lead belongs to the Chicago Bulls. I would guess that you would have been a good defensive back, Jimmy, because you have a terrific capacity to forget what's just happened. I would think that big matches like Courier here had 2 chances to break. He can't go back there and sort of thinking about those two. It's
You got to wipe that off your mind. If you don't, then the games and the points are going to start slipping away from you in a hurry.
The sneak volley. And that's what you've been advising him to do, Jimmy.
Well, he runs around and just really jumps on a forehand again. He sees the balls well above the net, so he gets in close. Agassi still with great foot speed gets to it, but not quite good enough. Nastase had a problem wiping it out of his mind. I'll get back to that in a minute.
Courier's approach is moving up now after Agassi was more than 2-1 in front in the first set.
That's a good approach down the middle.
40,
What about Nastase?
Well, Nasty was such a great talent, but when one little thing would go wrong with him, he'd just keep it in his mind for the complete match, and he just keeps spitting it out, and not getting it totally out of his system. It affected his play.
Great to remember, but so important to forget. There's that left-handed pulled foul that time by Jim Courier, who's a big fan of the Cincinnati Reds. Don't quite know what the crowd reaction is here.
Nobody can whistle more derisively than the French, but I don't know what it was about either.
A Reds fan. He likes Paul O'Neill, the left-handed hitter, who's among the home run leaders in the National League currently with 12.
Serve Courier.
On serve, 5-4 in the second. Agassi serves to stay in the second.
Courier mène par 5
Back to Kenberg. Bud Collins, Jimmy Connors, Joanne Russell. And we send along our best to Colorado to Chris Evert, who will join us at Wimbledon.
Petit
Chris expecting, with Andy Mills, their first child, and wishing them nothing but the best. And it's great news that she's feeling so much better.
Okay, Courier's game has lifted immensely since the rain delay. Well, Jose Higueras during that second rain break must have noticed something that a lot of people didn't, but Courier is now on the attack.
Three points from the set.
Agassi chooses to be the aggressor. Now it's a good approach shot. But what a two-handed shot by Courier.
I bet
Andre might have been a little slow getting in behind that.
First volley he's missed, I believe. Leo Levin, the stats man, says so.
Three set points for Jim Courier.
0-40. Play.
Now Courier has 3 break points. He should take a chance here.
Oh, my.
Well, he took the chance. He hit a great return. Well, once you're in there moving close, you got to make your choice and stick with it. He did. He went right back to Andre Agassi. I think he still should have made that volley, don't you?
Yes, it was makeable.
Jim Courier 2 points from playing a best 2 of 3 final with Andre Agassi. Set to Courier. 6-4.
6 jeux à 4. Une manche par pas.
seventh American crowned as the French champion in the history, the 100-year history of this championship. Will it be Courier or Andre Agassi, the first to win here in Paris? 1938, part of the first ever Grand Slam. Don Budge, the great American, who's watching in the tribunal today. There he is.
He beat Roderick Menzel, a gigantic Czechoslovak, in the final.
I've got to ask both of you. Down 15-40 for Courier to win the set. Agassi tries a drop shot. Terrible choice of shots in my books.
Courier liked it.
Yes.
And what rain has meant to Courier's life here. He was really on the ropes, on the edge of being down 2 sets.
Courier's a different player now. At the beginning of this match, Agassi was dictating play. Now it's Courier way inside the baseline, getting close to the net, winning the points much easier.
Since the rain delay, 28 points for Courier, 15 for Agassi. After Agassi had dominated the first set and the early portions of the second.
Courier's more positive about his game now. Beginning of the match, he was going for his shots, but not sure, unsure, not quite as fluent as he should have been. But now he's in better position, really going for him.
40-0.
Service game for Jim Courier to open the third. We return after these words from your local station. Terre Battue, red clay, Roland Garros, actually crushed earth, brick.
Some crushed limestone in there.
Double fault for Agassi. His second. 5 straight points he's lost in this set. Got a quick look at the other 6 winners, and we'll show it to you again. all. Don Budge, the first American to win. Don McNeil in 39. Frank Parker, 48 and 9. Budge Patty in 50. Tony Trabert, 54, 55. Then that long 34-year span before Michael Chang finally won in 1989.
Hope Don McNeil is watching. He lives in Florida. He came out of Kenyon College to win the U.S. title, surprisingly.
Well, Bud, this is a role reversal here now.
It sure is. Andre didn't even go for that ball.
Well, Courier gets a short forehand and he lets it go, but Andre is not moving like he was.
Another forehand winner for Agassi. He leads 14-7 in that count.
This match still in a very formative stage, however. It looked over when Agassi had those shots at a 4-1 lead in the second.
Courier knows his best chances to attack, and this is it right here. He jumps on a forehand. Anything that close to the line is unbelievable.
You called it, Jimmy. It's as if Agassi were wearing Courier's shoes now. He just seems stunned by Courier's aggressive, overpowering play as he had Courier on the ropes earlier.
Oh, he saw that vacant court and went too quickly.
Well, that's what he said when we had a chance to talk to him. He says, I used to see that opening and I'd go for it no matter what. And, you know, that's not bad strategy. He had a great opening. He was a point up to go up a break, but he's learned, and that's what Jogaris has told him to, settle down a little bit. You don't have to make such a great shot so soon.
Can't second guess Courier right now because he's come back from the brink of extinction.
Well, you don't see many play.
The 1991 French Open is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. And by John Deere Lawn Care Dealers. Stop by your local dealer to see why nothing runs like a deer.
1-all in the third, a set apiece. Andre Agassi, the 4th seed, and 9th seeded Jim Courier. Long-time competitors and friends.
What's happening here is Agassi was in a slugfest at the very beginning with Jim Courier. He was out slugging him. Now Courier's tracked down a few more balls, still hitting with pace, not making as many errors, and it's putting a little more pressure on Andre to go for a better shot. He's missing a few, and he's getting a little frustrated.
There's a case in point. You ought to go into this full time, Connors.
I think that's the first one I've picked this week.
Going to play at Wimbledon?
I am. I've asked for a wild card.
That's suitable, isn't it?
I hope they respond well and allow me one.
They generally give wild cards to the English players exclusively because there's no other way they could get in their own championship. But I bet there's one for you, Jimmy.
Work on that British accent. On the line. On the line.
Well, Courier is tracking down some bullets by Agassi. Hitting the ball hard and very close to the line. Courier gets a nice, easy overhead, waits for Courier to move. Hits it into the open court.
On 40-15, Andre Agassi will be at Wimbledon this year and was criticized as a top player in the world for ducking play on grass at famed Wimbledon, but this year will be attired in appropriate whites and go at it on the green.
Excited to see his outfit. It'll probably be pot de soie.
What is pot de soie?
It's a very
Glad
light
you asked.
netting that Patty probably wore when you married her, Johnny.
40-30.
I'm still confused.
Well, maybe he'll come out in white velvet.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Or lace, or... But I think he's going to have some wonderful surprises ready for us. I know Julie Hatfield, the great fashion writer in the United States, is wondering.
Courier to Courier. 2-1 on serve in the third. The climax of another French championship, the 100th anniversary of these tennis championships in Paris. Part of the 4-event Grand Slam, the Australian, the French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. And these two Americans playing dead even now in the third. Just wide. Two different matches it has been. Before the rain, this man, Andre Agassi, dominating, out-hitting his opponent, winning the big points, few errors, then a rain delay, and then another. And Jim Courier, given new life, has been the player of that role. He now dominating and Agassi making the mistakes. Joanne Russell.
Well, I think Coach Connors in the booth and Jose Higueras in the stands here are thinking the same things, because Higueras said he's playing better tactically, getting to the ball, moving better. And what he's doing to Agassi is Agassi sees the ball coming a little differently, and he has to hit a lot more good shots to win the point.
Joanne with us. She is just behind, as you saw in the live interviews. There was a glass door that leads into the players' seating area. And, of course, we don't want to disturb anyone there, so she is visiting with the coaches and trying to get that first-hand information for us. Thank you. 30-all. +9, Agassi, unforced. He was a step late.
But he had the right idea.
Yeah, it's an awfully delicate shot. He had the opening. All he had to do is really get his volley. Gets a great return. And see, it just hesitates a little bit too long there. He gets it. The ball drops a little bit too low.
Well, Andre
He knows it.
saved himself with one of those public parks chops. Looked like Red Auerbach's favorite shot.
And Agassi holds 2-all.
This is a big time in the match right here. 2-all in the third set, 1 set apiece. Agassi struggling to find his form here. Now's the time. If Courier has a chance to take the initiative, this is it right here. Andre's been struggling. He's made some unforced errors. He's been talking to himself, a little bit unhappy. He has to pull himself out of that.
Named after the 4 Musketeers, the coupe that will be held by the winner today, an American for only the 7th time in history. And with it comes a rather sizable check. More than the women make. It's not equal pay.
It ain't right, but it's happening.
A couple of unforced errors from Courier. Agassi looking at love 30 here with a chance to regain the lead.
That's a squabble that's been around for a long time, hasn't it, Bud?
The prize money.
The prize money.
Well, sometimes I wonder, should the men get as much as the women? But today they're earning it.
Darn you anyway. Courier quick off the mark, but the drop shot was just too good. He started to slide a little bit too late. And what a wonderful change of pace by Agassi. Courier way back behind the baseline.
That caught him.
Smart play, getting in and volleying the ball also.
Woo, he took something off that serve.
2 more chances for Agassi to gain the lead in this 3rd set. They're even a set apiece.
We've heard a lot of different grunts over the course of this championship. A lot of players get down there, they put everything they have into every shot. Heard grunts and squeaks and barks.
You started it. Sea lion.
Jim Courier using his power to bail out of love 40. Seems to be carrying the ball that way. When you're hugging that sideline, it seems to blow wide.
Well, the wind did blow the ball a little bit, but Courier was a little bit late on his shot. It's a good deep shot by Agassi, pinned him well behind the baseline.
It's blowing left to right.
Breaks Courier. He has the lead in the 3rd set, 3 games to 2. Final at Roland Garros. In many ways, we should compliment the French for the way they've supported this championship, and those who are non-French. They didn't have, on the men's side, much to yell about this year. And the unforced errors continue for Jim Courier, who yelled something into the crowd. In that last game, Courier broken, Agassi scored 5 points, but 4 were unforced errors.
Courier also came back. He was down love 40, got it back to deuce, and made 2 really wild shots. One, the wind affected him, but you come back and you get to a position from that far down, love 40 down to deuce. You want to really dig in and grind it and get through that game.
Don't you feel, Jimmy, the French are a very knowledgeable tennis crowd?
Well, they've had a lot of great players come from France. They've seen the best over the course of the 100 years of this tournament. So, plus, you know, to come out and to support tennis, no matter who, if their owners were playing or the Americans or whoever, would be, they're just a great crowd to play in front of.
Remember, we talked about the 70-70 club, that only Agassi belongs in that elite company in this tournament. But today, 52% first serve, 69. Good percentage of winners off the first serve.
That court.
Courier's shots here just keep falling shorter and shorter, giving Agassi the chance to just wind up and let it go.
When he camps out in that area, you're in trouble. He doesn't miss many. Point from 4-2. Courier at sea the last 2 games.
Agassi mène par 4, Joseph.
This is where concentration is so important. The match wears on, and that is going to be the difference, I think, Jimmy. Who can stay with it all the time?
If the forehand success is going to be the pattern, it's the day for Agassi. Still leads 2-1 on winners from that side. And a lot of unforced from Courier the last 2 games. On the line.
Well, it looks like Agassi's back on track, especially with his forehand. He steps around, and they can't get any better than that.
No.
You know, to get back to your point, Bud, you're not only battling your opponent down there, you sometimes have to battle yourself. You have to bring yourself out of your lulls. You have to fight from getting too excited or overextended to a point where you let it affect your game.
Hear the wind picking up.
0-30.
Boy, the moods of this match. Swinging from Agassi to Courier, and now back to Agassi.
Courier's gotten away from this the last 2 or 3 games, but now he crunches a backhand, and you see him move forward. That's where he was successful after the second rain delay. He hit those deep shots to the corner and got to the net.
More breakers for Agassi.
Well, I think he kind of feeling it slip away a little bit here.
This is mental toughness coming into play here, I think. Shot making's been good at both ends, but Courier wavering just a little, and Agassi not slipping at all after the set began, after he saved that set point in the second game.
Is that because it's his first Grand Slam final?
Don't know. Agassi's been here before, 2 previous majors, here and Flushing Meadow.
It's out, and Agassi breaks. When we return, he'll be serving for a 2-1 lead. The great Americans that found this a tough place to win a title.
Well, Kramer didn't play here. He only had 2 big amateur years, 46 and 47, before turning pro.
McEnroe, Connors, Riggs, Stan Smith, Arthur Ashe. It's a rare American trip in Paris to the finals for these two. And Agassi now 3 points from a 2-set-to-1 lead. That ball came at him like a knuckler.
That's a tribute to Andre's shot.
Like I'm facing Phil Niekro out there.
Wonderful. What a one-liner, like facing Phil Niekro.
Wow, we're having fun, aren't we?
At the moment, although he's hiding his emotions. 3 points for the set.
S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Merci.
Now, if I were Jose Higueras, I'd be calling up some pilot to seed the clouds.
Troisième manche, Agassi.
He leads 2-1.
Agassi mène par 2 manches à 1.
Call up the rainmaker, Jose.
From 2-all in this third set, Agassi was the one on the attack. Courier seemed to be content to stay back and run along the baseline.
5 straight games from 1-2 for Andre Agassi to win the set 6-2.
Jimmy, you're down 2-1. Now what are you telling yourself?
15-0.
Well, you can't rush. You still got a lot of tennis to play, but the fourth set for Courier, he has to get back to that groove where he was when he won the second set, hitting those deep shots to the corners and getting in close to the net. But you don't want to rush to the point where you make unforced errors. Easy to say up here, isn't it?
Oh, we never lost a match.
Well, a serve and a volley for the first point. Drop shot for the second point. That's for the third set, these statistics. Unforced errors. Courier 5 more than Agassi.
Premier
That's
set.
about 120. Peter.
He's trying to keep himself loose. It worked for him in that come-from-behind match against Magnus Larsson a week ago Saturday.
He has a cover with it. And he said that's what he admired about Agassi when they were roommates, is 12, 13 years old. He said that Agassi always kept it loose because he'd have a joke or a practical joke. He's been Mr. Serious in this championship.
He has. It seems like it should be just the opposite. Andre should be the one that's doing a little bit of the talking, but he's not.
He's cut that out. Remember in '88 when he got to the semifinals, nearly beat Mats Wilander? He had that horse laugh after a lot of points and played to the gallery. No more.
40-15. Shouldn't be discouraged by that, though, should he, Jim? He was
Well, he's
there.
been successful. He's got to mix that in a little bit. He's got such a good serve, first and second serve, that unless Andre is just jumping all over it, it gives him a chance. Agassi's the one in the groove now.
Agassi wild on the overhead, and Courier holds to open the fourth. Back at Roland Garros, and the tear bat holds to open the fourth. Back at Roland Garros, and the tear bat 2 stained socks of Jim Courier. Some of the classic photographical tennis shots from Paris. As the sweat drive of the game caught up, and you used to measure your performance by how dirty you were.
That's right. The more I was in the trenches, the dirtier I got. And that's how hard I worked, too. The more I was slipping and sliding from the knees down.
Makes laundry tough. And I'm going to reveal your mother's secret, Jimmy. Gloria Connor's solution to dirt courts. I've got it right here.
Love 30. Andre Agassi comparatively clean.
Your friend Bill Lally and I compared laundry notes. And he said, here's what you do, bud. You get Biz and Cheer, mix them up into a solution. Leave the clothes in there for a half hour. Anything that isn't clean after that, you scrub it with Fels naphtha like your mother used to wash your mouth with. Now, Gloria, I hope she's not mad that I revealed her secret, that it never fails.
No, but she ran out of soap washing my mouth out, though.
I'll bet she did. Now, this is no laughing matter for Agassi.
No, here's a triple breaker for Courier to take the lead in the fourth set.
Well, Courier punishing the ball. Now, Agassi a little bit late, but I can't get off of this. What disturbed me about Boris Becker and also a little bit about Courier here. They hit those big shots, and they just don't get in behind them. Actually, I'm going to say it about Andre Agassi also, even though he's done it much better this match.
And Jim Courier breaks Agassi at love and leads 2-love. It's like he took a little visit, went off to the Bois for a minute or two and came back.
When he's done that in a number of the matches that he's played.
Concentration goes. He went
at the net. Agassi 4 more advances and 7 more points, but Courier has picked it up since the first set. We're live from Paris, and tonight Lakers need a win before they go back to Chicago. Overtime on Friday. We're looking to the overtime answer in tennis, a possible 5th set if Courier can win this one. 5 aces to 2. Straight points now for Courier. Make that 8 straight.
This has been a roller coaster match so far. The high of Agassi through the first set, the rain delay coming back, the high for Courier to win that second set.
Courier.
Gross, 19 clay courts here, including this center court.
as you suggest, Jimmy, is not taking advantage of the deep shots.
Well, he had 2 or 3 shots at that point that I thought he should have come in on.
And he did earlier.
There's a lull in his game again. He felt that lull after the second rain delay, fought his way out of it to win the third set 6-2.
Let's get a report from Joanne Russell.
Well, Dick, I talked to Nick Bollettieri at the end of the third set when Agassi was in great form. He said in the second set, Courier slowed him down, played way back on the serve, so Agassi tried to power through him, and he rushed. Well, now the tide has turned again.
Courier broke a string and sent the racket out to the stringer. There it goes.
30 love.
40-0.
Prior to this game, Agassi had won only 1 point in the set, first 3 games. At love, Agassi holds. 3-1 Courier.
That was a much better game for Agassi, but Courier content to track down his bullet forehands. I wonder how long Courier can last staying that far behind the baseline. And
Nick Bollettieri not as relaxed as when we saw them earlier. Of course, his attention to Andre Agassi, although he coached both for many, many years.
Brother Phil looked anxious there, too.
That's the part of the entourage. Bill Shelton, the agent, is there, as well as the strength coach, Reyes. Well, I hope you enjoyed the cafe and croissants. Those of you up early with us, live at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and now we're in the afternoon. In the States, 6:15, early evening. Appears to be a beautiful final few hours in Paris. Like a visit to the Musée d'Orsay. What a picture. 2 American impressionists, both in quest of their first Grand Slam title.
Andre is a walking abstract canvas.
Like one of Monet's water lilies gone wild.
Killer water lily.
He could get arrested in that little town in Florida wearing that outfit.
Oh, he doesn't wear that in Dade City, no. Chief of Police Thompson said, no, nothing like that here, my boy.
Big point.
Well, Agassi had a good drop shot there, but he's expecting that drop shot to win the point. Courier is just too quick around the court for that.
He does move well, doesn't he, for a sizable guy?
He does. Agassi moves extremely well. They both move super. But Agassi a little bit flat-footed after the drop shot.
First saw him play, but remember we slipped over. It was 1987 over to Court 2.
Court 2.
For the juniors doubles title, and he and Jonathan Stark won the Wimbledon juniors.
Stark decided to go to college.
Stanford?
Stanford, yes.
Throws in his second double fault, and with it, Agassi a chance to gain that break back. Andre Agassi leading 2-1. Courier in front 1-3 here in the fourth, but break point Agassi.
That's a loose point from Andre.
Played it passively, didn't he?
Yes. Break points you get, got to take that chance and get them not as often as you would like.
Wind picking up, but the good news is no more rain expected. Little bite on that serve.
They played 2.5 hours almost. What about their conditioning? You think that 2.5 hours at this pace, you think they're feeling it a little bit now, or you think they're still quite fresh?
I don't. I think they're both superbly fit.
That one hit the sideline. It's Courier 4-1 in the fourth. We pause for these words from your local station.
Go ahead.
Oh.
2 points to force the decisive fifth.
Silence, s'il vous plaît. Si.
They'll play 1 set for the French Open Championship. Agassi 6-3 in the first. Courier answers 6-4. Then Agassi 6-2 in the third. And Courier just motors through the last set 6-1. Set in which Courier had 8 winners to Agassi's 1. Since 1968, 4 other championships have gone to a fifth set. Borg won 2 of them over Orantes and Lendl. Remember that classic we had on NBC 84, Lendl rallying against McEnroe, winning the last 3 sets, and Chang and Edberg won 5 2 years ago. They have just swept the court, so there aren't many marks out there, and the linesman found the exact one.
And Paul Fennegon, without being summoned from his chair, raced out to defend his call.
Through 4 sets, serve percentages, Courier considerably higher. That's very low for Agassi for this championship. Winners a +6, Agassi +4 unforced for Agassi now. Ooh, a terrible gust of wind.
It's awfully difficult to hit 4 unbelievable shots like that and keep hitting one right after the other. He was going to have to hit 5 or 6 to win that point. He should have been in on top of the net after the first or second one. I think he knows it, too.
Yeah, he does.
30-15.
But the wind is tough down on the court now. The dust is blowing in their faces.
And that is mean grit if you get it in the eye. It's effective. You can see the ball being fluttered by a swirling wind. I picked up a piece of that chair bat too a couple of years ago in the eye. It took me 3 days to get it out. I'd never been in so much pain.
But it's historic grit.
Agassi holds to open the 5th. Second game, 5th set.
That was a wobbly ball that Andre hit back. One of those that Courier early compared to a knuckleball.
Well, Agassi's in complete control of this point. He gets what he wants here. A short lob, lets it bounce, and Courier guesses right. Well prepared and...
15.
Point of the match.
Great play.
S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs.
That was a love 30 point.
S'il vous plaît. Merci.
15 all. Courier serving love 1 in the 5th. Piece of paper flying out from the crowd, and the chair umpire.
It's the correct call by umpire review. It could have disturbed Agassi. It was behind Courier. I don't think the crowd understands.
S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs, c'est la
No
règle.
matter how you're looking at this match, if you pick
Un petit peu de silence.
a side to cheer, and that is the case with many of these fans, You may have felt Courier had the advantage in the point when the lead was called. They're the Whistlers.
So the 15-all point is replayed.
At the start of the match, the French were more for Agassi than Courier.
Well, a big first serve by Courier. He gets a short reply, but both players, after almost 3 hours of play, still jumping on every ball, hitting it with great power. I got to ask you two gentlemen one question. If you had one characteristic to pick out between either player, what's going to win them this 5th set and this tournament?
What do you think?
Grit.
Yes.
That's all. 5th set really doesn't have too much to do with tennis. It is now who wants it more and will go take it. They've never played 5 sets in their rivalry.
40-15.
Which Agassi leads 4-2.
There's no defensive tennis out here now. You have to go out. They've gone for their shots now for 4 sets. They have to continue. The one who goes for the shots and makes is going to win. No letting up here by either side.
The 2 matches here in France were both 4-setters. 1 win each. Game to Courier, 1-all in the 5th. Jose Aguirres in the camp of Jim Courier.
He was in a 5th set with Michael Chang, whom he was coaching 2 years ago. We've talked about coaches, we've talked about trainers, but we asked Courier who he relied most on. He said, well, my mom and dad, Jim and Linda. And he told us a terrific story that reminded me of Bjorn Borg's parents. You remember when Bjorn Borg was acting up as a kid and was bad-tempered, swearing, throwing his racket? His mother and father took the racket away and put it in a cupboard and said, you won't play for several months. Now, this happened to Courier. He had misbehaved badly at the age of 16 and had played well, but had misbehaved. He was scheduled to go to the Easter Bowl, which is one of the biggest junior championships in the world, the next week. His father said, you're not going, kid. Sorry. He said, that was a lesson well learned.
Agassi caught a sideline, 15-all. They're 2 very likable guys. I mean,
yes,
they really
are.
are enchanting young men at 21 and 20. Both bright.
Oh! Andre has had a very bad press, particularly in the United States, and he's making efforts now to overcome that. He secluded himself. He wouldn't give interviews except in press conferences, and that got the press down on him.
But this is a worldly experience they're going through right here. They're playing in front of 18,000 people. They're playing a great game.
Well, they know they're playing in front of millions, Jimmy. I mean, this is going all around the world.
Well, exactly right. But, you know, this is a quick education and a quick maturing lesson for both of them.
Ooh.
Not a bad drop shot by Courier, but Agassi in plenty of time. Courier with a half volley lob. I haven't seen that in a long time. Agassi gets back there in plenty of time, just barely catches the tape.
He leads 2 games to 1. Back to Roland Garros, 5th set, 891 men's championship. On serve, Jim Courier 1-2 in the fifth and decisive set. No tie break here in the fifth. They'll play it out. Let's go to Joanne Russell.
We talked earlier about Jim Courier's having only 2 favorite rackets. Well, they have a stringer here, Eric Breton, and he strings Courier's rackets in 15 minutes. He strings them at 68 pounds and Agassi's at 64. And today he strung 2 of his. Courier's.
Love 30.
Two errors by Courier. He's got to keep from falling behind, going down a break here early in this fifth set.
First Grand Slam final for this young man from Dade City, Florida. Andre Agassi in his third in a period of a year, third final. Neither has won a Grand Slam. The win, Jimmy?
Well, Agassi did well to get out of the way and to play the ball back, but not much pace on it. I think he was trying to run around. The wind might have grabbed it a bit. Both players looking to hit that big forehand off every shot if possible.
Story on the ball cap for those of you who may be just joining us for our live coverage from Paris today of these 91 French Championships. He's a ball player at heart, loves the game, follows it, knows it, and was an outstanding baseball player in his youth, a left-handed hitter, pitcher, and shortstop, Jim Courier, and used it earlier in the tournament. Feels it's his good luck symbol. You don't see it often on court. You can see it's well worn.
Took it up in the Magnus Larsson match a week ago Saturday when he was trailing 2-1, 1 game to 2. And he said, well, and it was cold. There was no sun, but he, for some reason, felt he'd go for the cap. And he's hardly taken it off since.
Go from low 30 down to 40-30 for Courier.
You know, both these boys, we were talking about they're very personable young men, but they're opposites in really every way. Courier with the cap, Agassi with the headband, Agassi with the long hair. Courier keeps his hair cut short. Agassi with the earring, no earring for Courier. Different styles, but with one purpose in mind. That's to win this championship.
It's 2-all as Courier caught Agassi looking for the cross-court forehand.
Agassi hits a pretty good return here with Courier backing way into the alley to catch that forehand and rifle it down the line.
Agassi a +7 in the war of the forehands. Perhaps the most telling statistic, though, in the match is the fact that Agassi has not served as powerfully. His first serve percentage quite low in comparison to his 70% plus in this championship. Wendell, take that.
Fifth set. Jimmy, you've been in so many of them. What's your favorite? 82 at Wimbledon?
I played a lot of matches where I've lost in the fifth. I lost 2 matches to McEnroe in the fifth set at the U.S. Open. Agassi way down on his first serve percentage.
Gee. He's a little loose.
lot of it now is the legs, isn't it? How much you want to work those feet. They're both got to be somewhat tired.
This is the one who wants it the most right here. I remember an interesting story of Stan Smith. He was leading Newcomb 2-1 in the finals of Wimbledon back in 1971. And he says, well, what happened? Why'd you lose it in the fifth? He says, well, I was already over to the dance. I was thinking about who I was going to dance with. That you can't do that. You got to... There's Stan right there in the hat.
He did win the next year, however, in 5 sets over Nastase.
Point for Courier.
Well, Courier hits one heck of a shot. Slides right off the line. I can see a little late in reply. Now, will Courier take a chance right here on this second serve?
Down the line by Agassi.
There's Sunday punching today.
Well, it was Courier that was up the game point, but it's Agassi who takes the chance. Steps into a backhand. You can't get any better than that.
Oh, wonderful.
Avantage, Agassi.
In the fifth.
Boy, the wind took that ball.
And that one.
Yeah.
Well, last game, Andre Agassi faced the first real bit of pressure here in the fifth set by being down a break point.
Had the answers.
3 in a row. 3 big shots in a row. Courier now in the fifth is the one fighting always to get even in games.
Earlier today at center court, Fernandez and Novotny. Holding best, Jean Barotra, one of 2 of the 4 Musketeers still alive. Twice the winner here at the French Championships. But as told you, he still plays every day if he can.
Yes, he says play singles. He'll be 93 in August. You can send him a card. Jean Barotra, France. Got married a couple of years ago.
Seated next to the trophy, he'll be part of the presentation.
Courier, after losing the point to go to 40-15 this game, I heard him say as he walked back there, fight for every point. He missed the shot early. He didn't want to do that.
Even 3-all in the 5th and decisive set. The Coupe de Musketeers, named after the famed French players of the 20s and 30s. And there's the runner-up trophy, one that was part of Andre Agassi's experience last year when he was upset by Andres Gomez.
Both these young men, Andre Agassi hasn't won a Grand Slam, even though he was in 2 finals, and this is Courier's first. 3-all in the 5th. I wonder if a little bit of nervousness is creeping into their games. Well, I guess they answered my question right away. Agassi with one of the most difficult shots in the game. 2 of the most difficult shots. A high backhand overhead and a delicate touch forehand volley.
He's been volleying very well. He's had opportunities to do it more.
There's some mistake in tennis, at least in our backyard games, about that 7th game of the set. Here we are, 15-30 in the 7th of the 5th set of the French Championship.
Andre couldn't make up his mind if he was serving and volleying or not.
I saw it, but I don't believe it. He was coming in, he was serving and volleying there, and he got halfway in and he stopped.
S'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît.
2 break points.
Go!
Well, Agassi erases one with a big first serve, but the forehand, he steps way around. Lets Courier make up his mind which way he's going. That's it.
Point from a 4-3 lead for Courier. Now serving with the lead, Jim Courier in the 5th.
Well, this is the point that gave Jim Courier the break of serve. Agassi with a good kicker, but Courier steps way out into the alley. Usually pulled that up the line, but he slapped his forehand cross-court, going away from Agassi's backhand.
That point to break Agassi in the last game. They've been out here over 3 hours. A little break with a couple of rain interruptions. But, oh, they're still hammering the ball.
That shows right there how well they know each other's game. Agassi running around his forehand, smacking balls cross-court down the line, and Courier there in plenty of time.
One of their longer rallies, 17th stroke.
Well, look at the wind take this ball here. Courier goes in behind not a bad approach shot, but Agassi in plenty of time lifts the topspin lob for a winner.
Pressure on Agassi now, trying to dig out of a break of service. And now he gets 2 chances to break back.
Well, Courier with a sigh of relief. He comes in behind a good approach. He has just what he wants here. He doesn't quite strike it as firm as he would like. Agassi with another chance. This is dangerous.
Oh, my. That looked too familiar.
The wind now really gusting.
Agassi with another chance to go 4-all.
Oh, no.
Agassi.
No, it is called good.
Oh,
Game.
good.
Agassi, it hits the line. It's 4-all.
Base linesman's hand went out as though it were out, and then came parallel to the line, meaning the ball was good.
And you saw Courier nod his head there to his opponent. Yes, it hit the line. So they change breaks of service, and the drama continues toward the French Open title here at Roland Garros, and the gusts of wind carrying clay into the 3rd and 4th rows of the stands. Part of the capricious nature of this event. Do you take something out of your game, Jimmy, when the wind starts whirling like this, swirling?
No, these two players have the game for the win. They hit the ball very firm, very solid, and it penetrates the wind. It's better for them.
You have the feeling, as I said earlier, that they came, especially the young fans, rooting for Agassi, but as it's developed, the crowd pretty well split down the middle. They're hearty cheers for both.
Both having trouble.
Agassi the more popular because I don't think they heard enough of Courier. Agassi's results and his flamboyancy has been more popular. They're seeing plenty of Courier today.
Tough now, as you see, the shadows have grown onto the court from the western side.
Well, there's a lot of composure by this young man, whether he wins or not. He's giving it everything he has. It's mighty difficult to be in your first Grand Slam final in a 5th set with Andre Agassi, who has more or less proven himself.
And now he gets a second serve. He has 2 break points to go up 5-4.
Oh.
A tremendous get by Courier, and Agassi misses. Courier will be serving for the championship. Last 3 games, and now it's Jim Courier serving for the French Open Championship.
Grand Slam final, his knees have to be wobbling a little bit. He still has to be the aggressor, but for Andre Agassi, he has to keep the ball in play, make Courier hit the shots.
Wind whistling and moaning through the chair umpire's microphone, disturbing Courier. Two more. Courier shouts to himself, come on.
He was never that nervous when he played you, Jimmy.
He ran me ragged down here. He's too nervous to look, I'm afraid, now.
S'il vous plaît. Mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît, merci. Merci. Oui, s'il vous plaît.
Oh! 7, match. Courier, 3-7 à 2. 3-6, 6-4, 2-6, 6-1, 6-4.
Jim Courier of United States, Dade City, Florida, French Open champion. 3-6, 6-4, 2-6, 6-1, 6-4. He lived in the shadow of Andre Agassi most of his young tennis life. Agassi was always the star. They roomed together at 12 and 13 years of age, and now he runs to embrace Jose Aguirre, the man who has coached him this last year and helped him to be more patient on clay. And he finishes this dramatic French Open championship with a 7th ace. 7, usually a lucky number. It's also up jump the devil in Las Vegas, and for Andre Agassi of Las Vegas, Nevada, it is he who falls again in his quest for a Grand Slam final. And Jim Courier has made this a memorable time for all those who have cheered the underdog, who appreciate the fact that a man is really never number 2. And suddenly everyone is relaxed in that corner of Roland Garros. You did it, says Jose Aguirre. An American in Paris on this Sunday, Jim Courier, champion. Now this large crowd of 18,000 at Roland Garros wait the presentation of the Championship Cup and the runner-up trophy. Jean Barotra, along with the president of the French Tennis Federation, Philippe Chatrier, involved in the ceremony. Here they are, 2 Americans who provided wonderful theater on this red clay stage of Roland Garros. Champion Jim Courier runner-up again, Andre Agassi. We're going to hear the speeches as well as Bud Collins has made his way down there. We'll get some personal remarks, reactions from each of the finalists today. We asked him yesterday, Jim, if you win the championship, for whom will you be most proud? And whom would you want to call first? And he said, oh, yes, Dad and Mom, all those hours. Oh, I said, was it Mom more than Dad? Usually dads are working, moms are one having a car. No, he said, she'll still go out and feed me balls even today. And my dad, an athlete himself, what an inspiration he was. So as he raises that trophy, the thoughts must be going back to Florida, to his father, Jim. Mother, Linda, is with his younger brother in North Carolina. Couldn't make it today. The passports were in Dade City. Couldn't get back in time to make the trip. Here he is.
I think first off, just like to, I don't know the right words to put it in, but just say congratulations to Jim. It's a great tournament for him. He deserved it today, and congratulations. As for me, I'll have to try again another year, so I look forward to coming back. Thanks.
Well, I'd like to start by saying bad luck for Andre. It was a tight match, and just a few points here or there make the difference. And, you know, I got a little bit lucky, but sometimes that's what it takes. And sorry. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the fans for, you know, making this a special tournament, because you guys come out and support it every year, and we appreciate it. And the last thing I'm going to say is I'd just like to thank Jose Higueras. I wouldn't be standing here without you. Thanks, Jose.
Well, brief remarks by both finalists. Obviously emotionally down. Agassi disappointed. That's 3 finals, Grand Slam finals within a year, where he's been unsuccessful. The French last year, the U.S. Open, and now another French. And Jim Courier coming a long way, the number 9 seed, to steal the title in France. Saying it was bad luck for Agassi, but you could just sense that Courier holding in a lot of wonderful emotion. We'll get more specific. Bud Collins with the questions. We'll meet both the winner and the loser. And coming up, report head-to-head Magic Johnson. So stay with us. Interview with Jim Courier and Andre Agassi and Magic Johnson. It's the 4th 6-1 and wins it in the 5th 6-4. Andre Agassi now with Bud Collins.
Andre, you're in the final for the 2nd straight year, and congratulations on that. It appeared before the 2 rain delays that you were going to take a 2-set lead. Did the rain hurt you?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, you know, considering how it turned out. I didn't feel like it did. I just came out, and he adjusted a little bit in his game plan and started throwing a few more loopers in there, and I didn't adjust very quickly to that.
When you had a 2-1 lead, how did you let him get away from you?
He played a good game to get the first break on me, and I was still hanging in there at 4-1, and then he put a couple points together to break me again, and it's amazing how quick a set can go, you know, when somebody gets the, you know, the right bounces.
It vanished. You volleyed very well. You only missed 1 volley in the entire match. Do you think you could have gone up more?
Probably the only reason why I didn't miss a lot of volleys is because I really picked my moments to come in. Maybe I could have done that. It's easy to second guess now. I'm just, you know, maybe again next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
The biggest point, of course, of the 5th set was the smash that you hit wide. Wind swirling around, clay all over the place. What happened on that shot?
Today was just a question of, you know, who is going to bear out the circumstances better. There are a lot of things you can control, which is your determination, your focus, your concentration, but there are things you can. And there was just one of those things, tough conditions, and he hung in there.
Did he out-concentrate you?
I don't know about that. I think he put together a few points at the right time. I think we both were pretty focused.
Andre, we'll see you at Wimbledon. Not in this color. Do you have something in white planned for us?
Yeah, Wimbledon's going to allow me to wear it, bud.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Andre, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Back to Dick.
Well, good. It got a smile out of Andre at the end. Obviously disappointed. Jim Courier will meet him. Bud Collins will have an interview with the winner and another winner standing by as well. An NBA report. Magic Johnson, Game 4 against the Bulls tonight. Don't wander away.